In today's airport update, wide-body services are on the rise as New York JFK yet again is starting to slowly open up again and starting to connect multiple countries with New York and the rest of America. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing another JFK airport update. Now I know it's been a while, I apologize for that, but we are back. And today the wide body services are well on the rise here as JFK continues to connect America with the rest of the world. Now the time frame for this update is going to be 7 AM local time in the morning. And our first aircraft of this update is going to be this British Airways 777-200ER, which came in roughly around an hour ago. As you can see, it's just getting catered up and some of the bags are just being loaded off for the return flight. This aircraft is now set to head back out to London Heathrow in roughly around 3 hours and 25 minutes time. And it still has quite a way to go before it can push back and make its westbound departure towards London. And then just around the corner from the British Airways 777, we have this beautiful Aeromexico 787-9 in the Quetzalcoatl livery. Now this aircraft was one of the aircraft that stayed at JFK overnight when it came in last night at 11 PM from Mexico City. That is also where it is set to head back out to in roughly around 45 minutes time once it's finished loading its bags and refueling. And then right here, the second daily service heading out to London Heathrow, we have this Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350-1000. Now this aircraft is just getting catered up through the doors just behind the wings, as you can see, and the cleaners are also still on board cleaning the aircraft for its second leg of its turnaround before it will be heading out to London Heathrow in roughly around 4 hours time. Just to mention, this aircraft also came in roughly around an hour ago as one of the first arrivals of the day here at JFK. Now, as the surge in wide-body routes increases as the pandemic starts to ease away from the city, it is also really easy to overlook the short-haul services. There are many short-haul services running out of JFK, such as this Delta A321, which is being pushed out for Fort Lauderdale. This aircraft arrived in from Minneapolis-St. Paul on a stand-in route for the A319 that usually operates the route, as the other aircraft was in maintenance. This aircraft arrived roughly around 2 hours ago and is now set to head out in roughly around 10 minutes time. And then here we have an aircraft that has come from one of the hottest parts of the country to one of the colder parts of the country, and this is a Delta 777-800 in the SkyTeam livery, which has just come in from the Nevada desert, and it is running the Las Vegas rotation today, of course. As you can see, the aircraft is just getting loaded up with some new bags, and there's some other passengers just being loaded on for the return flight, which will be in roughly around 35 minutes time. The aircraft came in from Las Vegas roughly around an hour and a half ago, and as I said, it is set to head back out there in roughly around 35 minutes time. And then right here we have the first of two Delta Connection CRJ 700s. This aircraft came in from Buffalo, New York, roughly around 20 minutes ago, and in roughly around 40 minutes time, once it's all been catered up and fueled up, this aircraft will be heading out to Boston. And then right here we have the biggest Delta aircraft at the airport today. We have this Delta Airbus A330-300, which came in from Amsterdam roughly 2 hours ago and is set to head out to Tel Aviv in roughly around 3.5 hours time. This aircraft has an engine leak, so that's why it's going to be departing in 3 hours, so that needs to be fixed. As you can see, the aircraft is being fueled up and some of the old baggage have just been taken off for the return flight. And then right here we have this Delta 717, which is kind of just chilling at the gate here. It came in from Charleston roughly around 35 minutes ago. Everything's been offloaded, all the passengers are off, and there's no fuel on board at the moment. This aircraft is yet to be assigned another route for the day, but for now this aircraft will just be staying here until further notice. And then right here we have another Delta 737-800, but this time in the regular livery. This aircraft is running the Atlanta rotation today, and that is of course where it came in from roughly around 25 minutes ago. It'll be heading back out there once it's finished with refueling and loading its bags on board in roughly around 45 minutes time. And then right here we have the second Delta CRJ 700 at the airport today. This aircraft came in from Cincinnati roughly around 10 minutes ago. Nothing's really happening at the aircraft now, some bags lingering around, but this aircraft is set to head out to Washington Reagan in roughly around an hour's time. Now, moving away from the two terminals here at JFK, we have this UPS MD-11, which as you can see is just getting loaded up for a flight back out to Louisville, which is also where it came in from roughly around 4 hours ago, really early in the morning, delivering some cargo to aid the pandemic. Now, this aircraft has had its cargo loaded off. It's now waiting for its cargo to arrive before it can make its flight back out to Louisville. And then next up here, as you can see, we have this KLM 787-9, which is just taxiing out to the runway for its departure out to Amsterdam. It's set to head out in roughly around 5 minutes time after a couple of other aircraft have departed, and it arrived in roughly around 4 hours ago, one of the first arrivals of the day here at JFK. Moving on, we have this Alaska Airlines 737-800. This aircraft is just taxiing towards the runway for departure out to Seattle. This aircraft came in from San Jose roughly around 2.5 hours ago, as it arrived early, hence why it had such a long turnaround time. And now for the largest aircraft at the airport today, we have this Lufthansa Airbus A380-800 in the new livery, of course. This aircraft has just touched down in from Frankfurt and is just taxiing towards the other international terminal. It'll be staying there for the next 5 hours before making its return flight back out to Frankfurt later today. And then for our very final aircraft at the airport today, we have this American Airlines Boeing 757-200, which is just taxiing onto the runway for a departure out to Miami. This aircraft arrived in from Los Angeles roughly around 3 hours ago, where it stayed at the American Airlines terminal before taxiing out towards the runway. Now that is going to conclude today's airport update. Now if you did go on to enjoy the video, please do not forget to like and subscribe if you're new to enjoy more weekly content like this. Now I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. It's been Aviation JFK, signing off.